son was very, very well liked. Women, there were a lot of women. Yeah, there were a lot of young ladies there. Some I knew and some I didn't know. But Beans was very well loved. And still is. Some still come around. Every year we try to do cookouts and we still get nice turnouts. I didn't do it. Unfortunately, I was unable to do it this year because of us moving. But for the most part, we still get support. People still come around and call just to see how we're doing.
And how long ago was that?
It was 4 years this year.
Okay.
September made 4 years. To me, it seemed like just yesterday.
Okay.
But the healing process has, I won't say it's been slow. God is a God of perfect timing. But He does heal all wounds. But you gotta allow Him.
Right.
And God doesn't take anything that we don't first give Him. You gotta give it over to Him and mean it. I gave God the hurt. And I'm not angry with those who did that because I have stuff that I want God to forgive me for too. So I'm not going to walk around and be bitter and hinder my blessings because of those who did that to my son. Because in the end, they got to answer to that, not me. Do I forgive them? I'm not going to sit and try to act like I'm Miss Holier than thou. It's a process. Amen. And I'm walking through that process of forgiving. I say when I pray, Lord have mercy on them because they did not know what they did. They didn't.
Amen.
But God already knew that was going to happen. It was all part of His permissive will, and in His plan. Yes, it was a tragedy. Yes, it really was. It was devastating to us, my family. Of course, to me, because I'm the mother. To just leave your child and then that happen, that's unheard of. But God don't make no mistakes. I strongly believe in that, and I had to learn through this. When you hear stuff like that, instead of praying, oh God, heal. We have to learn how to say, Lord, your will be done because you don't know. You don't know. We lost 3 family members. My son, my niece, and my nephew. And we're all related. We lost. But God already knew. And it's a healing process, and it's all in God's perfect timing. And I'm doing okay, sis. I'm doing okay.
So I remember at the funeral, there's a lot of people. We went to Greater St. Matthew.
Yes.
And the sanctuary was full, and so was the balcony. After the funeral, we left and went to the burial. And there, as you were saying earlier when we were talking, that there were a lot of people there as well. And
so many people.
So walk us through that as well.
I remember there was a number of people. I think someone said they counted like 75 cars.
Wow.
So it was a lot of young people. I remember Bean's boss even came and spoke very highly of my son and how he learned certain things from him. That was a blessing to hear that from Bean's boss. By my being so young. And there was the call for those to accept Jesus Christ as their Lord and Savior. My apostle gave that call, and a lot of young people were raising their hands. So that was a blessing, and I believe that was the sacrifice that was made for Bean's life, that those would come to know Christ. Now, I don't know if they're actually living their lives for Christ now, but at that time, the seed was planted.
Right.
And that was the will of God.
And they, like I said earlier, there would have been no other way that they would all come together at that time if it had not been for His cause. To come together to celebrate, for us celebrate, but for them to mourn the loss.
Yes. And I believe that was the purpose.
Yeah.
That was There's a purpose. God never does anything without meaning.
Absolutely.
Without a meaning and a purpose being behind it. So for that, we can give him glory.
Yes.
You know, and I could still say, God, I thank you. I thank the Lord for Bean's life.
Yes.
And the legacy that he left behind and the memories, those fond memories and things that I know personally that he did. You know, I could sit back and laugh and say, that stupid thing did X, Y, Z, or that crazy thing. Remember when Beans did such and such?
Right.
You know, those things that I could hold dear to my heart. Even when we moved, I'm finding cards that he gave me. Beans was very big on Hallmark cards. He didn't go like the dollar store and buy cards. He always bought Hallmark cards.
Well, he said he wanted you to have the real thing.
He was very big on cards and words, and I'm still finding stuff that like, oh my God, Beans, did you really, you know? So my kids say I'm a hoarder, that I don't throw nothing away. But stuff like that, no, I don't. I still have cards from when I was pregnant with him. Mother-to-be cards. And cards and stuff that he made when he was little. I still have that stuff. Like locks of his hair. Why would I throw stuff like that away?
No, not at all. I think that it's a good thing because you don't want to forget.
Exactly.
Right? You want to remember because you were blessed and honored to be his mother.
Yes.
You know what I mean? To be a mother, to be a parent, period, is a privilege. It's a wonderful thing. It's an awesome responsibility to be able to say, God entrusted me with this human life to do with, to grow up, to mature, to feed, to nurture. You know, and that's an awesome responsibility.
Everybody can't be a mother.
No. Everybody can have a kid, but everybody can't be a mom. And to know that you were a mom and that you loved him, and not only that you love him, but that he loved you back. And so, no, you can't erase that. Why would you want to?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So you can have fond memories of your child if you lost them. You can hold on to those things. Don't let people say throw it all away. Because why would you? That part of your life, when they were alive, was a joyous time, was a wonderful time, was a peaceful time. Why would you want to throw that away? Those are the things that you hold on to give you to give you those memories. And the memories is what no one can take away. The images in your head of the first steps, of the first time they said mom, of the first time, you know, they fed themselves, had the bowl of SpaghettiOs all over their face. You know, those are the memories that you don't want to forget. Why would you want to? You know, and so yes, you hold on to the locks of hair. That was your baby's locks of hair. And there's nothing wrong with it. It's healthy. If it's done in a healthy way. If it's not done in a way of a shrine and you're memorializing them every single day. If you're able to go on and live and still remember. Right? So you're living and still remembering. You're not stuck in that moment or in that day. And that's where Tricia is. She's not stuck in that moment or in that day. And, you know, she even said earlier that she thought that she was going to be kind of broke up from moving from where they lived together. But no, look at God.
Only him.
Look at God. Moved, packed up Bean's stuff, took it with him, and was able to move from that spot because she's able to live. You can move on past this.
Yes, you can.
The death of that loved one is not your son, your daughter, your nephew, your niece, your aunt, your uncle, your mother, your father. It is not the end. You can live past death.
You can live again.
And that person wouldn't want you to stop living.
That's so true.
They wouldn't want you to stop living.
So true. Especially if it's not that person's character. That person was a bubbly person. If that person was full of life, a happy, joyous person, why would you want to be somewhere sad and with the door closed and a blind shut?
Open them windows.
Yes.
Get some air in there. Go outside and take a walk.
Yes.
There is life available for you.
Yes, there is hope.
There is hope.
There is hope.
Grab it.
Yes.
Grab it today. not tomorrow, today. Listening, watching this, grab it today.
Yes.
Take it from her testimony.
Yes.
She's still standing. She's still living.
Yes.
How's Pooh?
Imani's doing wonderful. Excellent in school. Blossoming to a young lady. She's doing wonderful. Tyre as well.
Okay.
And I'm not going to sit and say that everything is peachy creamy every day.
Right.
I mean, one day she may be feeling a little down. And we help each other. You know what I mean? We help each other. But we have been able to succumb what the enemy meant for bad. God always turns it around for good. Because the enemy wanted us to be, especially me.
Right.
It was more geared towards me, of course, to hinder and to stop. Because if he get me, then he got the rest of them.
Wow, because you're
and
the
the devil is a liar.
Right. So walk us through those emotions that you went through, because emotions are normal.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
emotions are part of our human nature. Walk us through some of the emotions that you felt.
The very next day after the funeral, you can hear a pin drop. The phone stops ringing, and that is going to happen.
Wow.
The doorbell, ain't nobody at the door. I looked at the kids. It was just the three of us. They looked at me, and we just cried. And I said, y'all. Then I said to them, okay, y'all, let's go outside. We're going to get some beer. We went and got some pizza. But our countenance, you could see that we were sad and that we were hurting. And I said to them, we have to start making new memories. And we did what we love to do. We went shopping. And I began to do that so much so that it didn't help.
Right.
It didn't help. It didn't help at all. Our first Christmas without beans, we went took Tahir to see Santa Claus, and we took pictures, and you could either see in the picture that we were hurting. But I was trying to bring a sense of normalness.
Right. A new normal.
To our grief.
Right.
But everything that we did, you could see on my face. And even in the ministry, it looked like when people saw me, they would turn the other way. But I still kept going. Right. I kept doing what I knew I needed to do. Right. I needed to be at Bible study. I needed to be at fellowship. I needed to hear the word of God. Right. God was still sending me out to preach. Mother's Day, I was in my mother's
Body greater Jesus. Nobody